Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this final episode in my Lakeland Vale Let's Play series here in Farming Simulator 19. So before we get too much into today's episode, I want to thank obviously everyone who has viewed this series so far, everyone who has watched the videos, commented on the videos, liked the videos. You know, thank you for that. Thank you for supporting this series as you have done, because obviously because of your support I got partnered with Giants during this series. So massive thank you to everybody, and of course massive thank you for Stevie for making yet another great map that I have been able to produce so many hours of content on for all of you lot to watch and enjoy. But here we are, we've reached the end of Delores' adventure, and we are in the process of doing the final soybean harvest on field 21. I finished off field 20 off camera, and I'm trying to do field 20 a little bit different today. I'm playing with a feature of course play which I haven't actually used yet, because obviously mode 2 has always been a bit iffy in course play in FS19, because it used old code, old script from FS17, and basically the whole functionality needed to be rewritten, recoded for the new game by the developers. And we now have a beta sort of functionality of the combine unloading function within the game. So I have currently got a helper running around on field 21 should I say, harvesting the soybeans, and I've got a helper driving the truck to do the unloading and selling of the soybeans. So I'm hopefully going to see if this actually works quite well. Now obviously, as you can tell from the video, I am time-lapsing this because it's going to take an awful long time to harvest this field, and I wanted to get it done in one episode. I didn't want to drag it out too long, so you're going to get to enjoy some nice little background music as well as me talking throughout this video. Now the first thing I notice with the mode 2 functionality of course play is the truck will not drive across the crop. He will not drive across the field to the harvester. He will drive around it, although he does kind of cut across the corners a little bit. But he goes up to the harvester and he empties it. So first test, everything seems to be going okay. The harvester has obviously pulled out and created a little pocket for itself, even though on this particular headland the pipe is actually well away from the crop, because again the truck will not empty the harvester if the pipe is in the crop. If the pipe is on the crop side, the truck will not go to the harvester. Also, what you saw there, you saw the truck after he had unloaded the harvester, the truck reversed back to allow the harvester to get back onto the course he was doing, and the combine gets to carry on the course that it's running. Now the way I set up this course wasn't perfect. I forgot to change one of the settings on the headland aspect, which means the guy is doing a smooth turn at each of the corners of the field instead of doing a turn radius, which means on the corners, because this field is square, he is going to miss little bits of crop on the corners. And I'm not too sure why on the headland of the field the harvester cuts a pocket. He doesn't need to cut a pocket on the headland because the truck is already able to unload him. The pipe is not in the crop, working this way around the field. So that's probably something that I think the course play devs will probably fine tune a little bit, because it's not really necessary for him to cut a pocket into the field when doing headlands like this. And again, once he's unloaded, the truck will pull back, look, perfect, and lets the harvester get back onto his normal road. No collisions yet. It's all working good. So it's nice to see that the course play mod is still rapidly in development, getting loads of new stuff added to it all the time. I haven't been keeping up with the updates as much in this series as I have done previously, because I obviously haven't used a lot of Courseplay in this Let's Play series. But when I saw the change notes recently for this feature, I thought I need to give it a go, and we may as well try it in the final episode, because it's probably the only chance I'm going to get to use it. But yeah, we're doing the soybeans. As I say, field 20 got done. Finished that off camera. Got the crop sold, obviously at the dairy, US dairy, where most of this crop is being sold. Do run into a slight little bit of a problem later on in the video, whereby I have delivered that many soybeans. We end up completely tanking the price. And messing the price up big time. So right now the truck is actually driving with the harvester. That's interesting. Because normally, as far as I'm aware, in mode 2 at the minute, there is no option to unload the harvester on the go. The harvester will just drive till it's full and stop. Previously in like Farm Sim 17 and in the very early sort of bodged version of mode 2 that came with Courseplay, you could set the truck to drive to the harvester when the harvester reached a certain fill level, and then it would drive alongside the harvester. I think the Courseplay devs have realised to basically avoid any issues with trucks and harvesters colliding and crashing into one another, that it's best to just have the harvester drive till it's full and stop. Then the truck drives to the harvester after the harvester has stopped. The truck empties the stationary harvester, and then the truck gets out of the way before the harvester resumes its course. I think that is going to be a much better way. I know some people don't like that approach. Some people would like to see the trucks emptying the harvester on the move. But honestly, I think for sanity's sake and for compatibility's sake, it's better that it does this. Again, the last thing you want is to have to keep jumping into trucks and trying to separate them and move them and, you know, untangle vehicles that have crashed into one another. You don't want that. People who watch my Fenton Forest series will have seen some of the issues I had with Courseplay in the past, in some of the early versions, and I definitely think this is an improvement. This new version, new code is a lot better. Like I say, I know people are a little bit unhappy with it. The most vocal crowd that I see are the ones who do forage harvesting. They're saying that basically this functionality doesn't work with forage harvesters because the truck doesn't drive alongside the harvester. My response to that would be, if you are doing forage harvesting, use Follow Me. Follow Me is tailor-made for forage harvesting in my view, more so than Courseplay. And then basically what I would do is I would just have an unload course programmed into the vehicle, and I would switch. Okay, we've had the first crash. First crash, the truck's driven the wrong way around the field and bumped into the harvester. So I'm just manually now driving this, and now I'm going to let the worker take back over. We're just transitioning from the headland phase of the field to the normal up and down phase. Where we will be harvesting with a spiral strategy. However, I've kind of messed up the course because I did an odd number of headlands. The harvester is now harvesting with his pipe in the crop, which means awkwardly every time he wants to empty, he's going to have to make a pocket. He's going to have to reverse out of the crop, as we've just seen. And in fact, the truck didn't actually empty him that time as a result. This time the truck will have a little bit more room. So this time the truck will empty the harvester correctly. But I'm literally hands off the controls at this point. I'm just sat here watching this all unfold just like you guys. I am not touching any of the trucks. I'm just seeing if the workers can actually harvest a field by themselves, completely unaided by me. So yeah, we're doing spirals, so he's going to drive all the way down to the opposite end of the field now. And he's going to head towards the top. There's a little bit of crop mist on that left side just because of the transition from headlands to up and down rows. Again, technically speaking, with it being a square field, I didn't need to do headlands. I could have just done up and down roads and run spirals. And that would have probably been the best way of doing it, because then I could have guaranteed the pipe would have always been out of the crop. If I'd have started him in the north-east corner of the map and had him drive south, he would have always been in that position, always been in the correct place. But these are things that obviously I'm learning, because obviously we've not had mode 2, a proper mode 2, an FS19 coded mode 2 in course play. So it's my first time getting to grips with the mod. And I'm also, he's going to run into a problem here as well, because he's driven right, the truck hasn't moved. This is where you get, you know, this is one of the, where you get that tiny little bit of a overlap in the course, with course play, where it does that like narrow row. I would rather it always do a narrow row at the end. If it's going to do a narrow row where it hasn't quite got a full vehicle's width, I wish it would do it at the end of the field, not at the beginning, because it just messes up with certain things. But hey, I've only had to interject twice so far. I've only had to sort of manually interrupt the workers twice to fix little problems, and they seem quite happy. It's probably not a great test, this actually, of the truck's capabilities, because obviously we're doing soybeans, which are not a high yield crop, which means the truck's not getting full. So we're probably not going to see it driving off to the sell point too many times, compared to if I was, you know, harvesting something like canola or, you know, wheat. You know, something, you know, a typical cereal crop type thing where we get. So again, he's just kind of driven a little bit wrong there, because he went under the harvester, emptied a little bit, and then he turned round, because he always wants to unload in the same direction that the harvester's facing. However, because the harvester unloaded a little bit as the truck drove past him, the harvester then was like, oh, I can carry on, and then he's like 2 seconds later, no, I'm full again. So yeah, this is my fault. I should have set this course up differently. My course, I shouldn't have done headlands, and I should have had the harvester working clockwise, because then the pipe would have never been in the fruit, ever, never been in the crop, and it would have made it a lot more compatible for the truck, let's say. But hey, so far, course play is working. It's doing its job well on this final harvest of the series. It has been a long series. It's been a very long series. I think this is episode 98, so I didn't quite hit 100 videos. I, to be honest, didn't really want to stretch it out to another couple of videos just for the sake of stretching it out. We've ended on an even number, and I'm looking forward to moving on, trying a couple of different things going forward. 2 different maps that I'm going to be playing in Let's Play format, and then obviously we've got the multiplayer server as well going on at all times, running every day of the week, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. If people want to get involved with that, you're welcome to. Like I say, the server is open to players. I do have 10 slots available on the server. just join the Discord and start asking questions on how you can get the map and mods that we are using, and you can join in and play and participate. Like I say, I stream on Twitch most days, most evenings in the UK time. I'm streaming the multiplayer server. We're currently on the Lakeland Vale Map, and I believe then the plan will be to play on that map for a little while, because, you know, we're very early days on it. We don't have all the animals and stuff like that, and all the land purchased and everything. So we'll be playing that for a bit, and then after Lakeland Vale, we're probably going to be moving to Snetterton's Farm. That'll probably be the next multiplayer map. I know my fellow player Mr. Helgi has been quite impressed with that map, which is of course another Stevie map. It's the Lakeland Vale 3 map actually, but I call it Snetterton's Farm rather than Lakeland Vale 3. I prefer the sound of Snetterton's Farm, and obviously I like Snetterton's Farm because I was one of the testers involved in the testing of the map for a week before it released to the public, and I got to help Stevie find and fix a lot of little bugs and issues that probably would have normally rolled out in the public release and resulted in him having to release several updates after the fact, which a lot of people seem to get upset about when a map author fixes their map, fixes issues with their map. They get very upset at having to download a new map every couple of days, but, you know, bugs need to be fixed, people, and I would sooner have map authors and mod authors fixing stuff rather than leaving stuff broken for several months. I know it's a pain if people go, oh, I have to start a new save game. Just take things easy. When a map releases, for the first week or two after its release, just go a little bit steady. Don't go crazy. If you get too deep into a save game so soon after a map's release, you always run the risk of having to basically start again if a map update is released. Because again, I know people say sometimes you don't have to start a new map, a new save game when a map is updated, but I would certainly, from my experience, definitely say always start a new save. If any mod or any map gets updated, you're best starting a new save. Vehicles and equipment are a little bit different. If you're able to go into your save game, delete or sell the equipment before you remove the mod and update it to a new version, that is the best way of doing things. That way then you get your money back for your vehicle, and then obviously you just buy the new updated version when you've added the new version to the save. But yeah, overall, quite like the look of Snetterton's map. It's going to be fun to play on it. What I really like about it, from what I got to test, was I like the fact that Stevie's added manure to all the animal pens. So the chickens make manure, the sheep make manure, which is a little bit new. There is some compatibility issues and conflicts with that if you use the seasons mod on the map, because obviously the seasons mod disables manure from being produced at animals if you don't provide the animals with straw. If you don't put straw in the animal pens, you get slurry instead, but obviously the chickens and sheep don't make slurry on the map, and they also don't have a straw. They don't have a requirement for straw. So if you play the new map, Snetterton's map with seasons, you will find your chickens and sheep may not produce manure. But honestly, with the issues I've had with seasons in the past, I probably wouldn't run it on the new map. Certainly I wouldn't be running it in multiplayer, and if I'm going to be playing Snetterton's Farm as my multiplayer map, we won't be running seasons on there because people don't like seasons with multiplayer. But yeah, definitely a map that I will be playing in the future for sure. Sadly, not as a single player let's play, because I've already got other maps in planned and have planned and already recorded some content for those. And obviously There's another map as well that's always on the horizon, threatening to be released at any time, which of course is the Millennial Farmer map, which again is another map that I want to play and want to feature quite a bit of in my farm sim stuff. So we'll be having a bit of a look at that, I suppose, and seeing what I can do with that map. It's just very busy. As a content creator and as a streamer, I am very busy. Trying to record content for different things. Like I say, I've tried to play a few different games. Don't necessarily have the time for it. Obviously, I'm doing a bit of Formula 1 2020 at the minute as a completely different game altogether from Farm Sim, and that takes a lot of time to record those videos, as I've probably mentioned in the last couple of videos. There are also other games on the horizon that I want to play. People keep asking me about Flight Sim 2020. I'm not really sure whether I'm going to get that game or not. Train Sim World 2, not sure if I'm going to get that. I don't think there's much of an upgrade from Train Sim World, the original, or Train Sim World 2020 as it's now called. I'm not really seeing what's relatively new about that to warrant justifying a premium price again for Train Sim World 2, so I'm probably not going to get that. There's just a couple of different things, and obviously, you know, I've got people asking me to play completely different games, different genres of games at the minute, and I don't know whether I can do that. You know, one of the games that I'm being pestered to play a lot of is this Dead by Daylight game that my real life friends play, and I don't know if I can just justify that at all. I'm not big into the whole multiplayer only gaming type thing, especially not this like competitive multiplayer stuff, because as a noob you just get ganked. you just get absolutely murdered by everybody who's played it for hundreds of hours and thousands of hours. I was watching some people playing Rocket League last night in my Discord, some of my Discord friends playing Rocket League, and that's a game that I only played a little bit of. And again, the skills of these people now, if I was to try and get back into that game, there's just no way I could do it. They would murder me. Because they know all the tricks and all the buttons, and I don't. And the harvester has finished the field. The truck, however, has had a bit of an issue. He seems to have driven completely off the map somewhere. It doesn't help by the fact that it's night time, and this truck doesn't have the best of lights. I don't know if Stevie's watching the video. If Stevie is watching the video, this Lizard Hulk truck mod that you did, I don't know whether you could chuck some more lights on it, could you, Stevie? Because it's a bit rubbish. It's not, the illumination at night is not great on this truck. But anyway, I'll just bring this guy over. What I am going to do is I'm not going to let him go and sell the soybeans, because as I said a little while ago, by selling soybeans from field 20 and field 21 to the US dairy, the US dairy price has absolutely tanked. So what I'm going to do is I am going to finish harvesting the field. So I'm going to go do all the corners myself by hand. This is Delores now, just cleaning up the field. And then Delores is going to go to bed, have a night's sleep, and then she's going to get up in the morning, and then we're going to go sell the soybeans at whichever sell point is offering the best price. And then, my friends out there in YouTube land, we are done. We have finished this lovely series. Our adventures on Lakeland Vale have been completed. You know, Delores has taken over a farm that was in not great shape when we took it over, and she's built up quite a successful, profitable business for herself. She's got a fantastic fleet of equipment, you know, and she's clearly demonstrated throughout this series she's going to be able to definitely keep going forwards now, driving this Let's Play forwards. If we had continued playing, we would have just ended up buying more fields, more vehicles, and rinse repeat of everything we've been doing currently. So we've kind of reached that point where there is nothing new occurring. So it's time to say goodbye to Delores. It's been a fun series. Obviously, we'll be looking forward to the next adventures on the map, on whatever maps I choose to fire up next. We'll go grab our truck. We'll go get the crops sold. We'll get everything wrapped up. Been an absolute joy playing this map, as it always is, playing Stevie's maps. We're going to head over to the Agrazland trade. Is a good place to go and sell these soybeans. So yeah, I will take these over there, get them sold, and we'll be doing a great job of this. But there we go then, folky folks. Got some soybeans done. All the fields are harvested. Made quite a lot of money in the old bank account. Over $6 million bucks come the end of this series. Done very well with Delores from pretty much starting with nothing. We've done well in the 3 years that we've been on this map. The 3 seasons that we played with faux seasons using growth control instead because of the issues we had in the first year using the actual seasons mod, which nearly completely broke the save and nearly caused me to end the series before we'd really got going. I was so disappointed with the conflicts that seasons mod has and the issues and the fact that it's not being updated, it's not being fixed, it's not being developed anymore by the looks of things. I do periodically check the seasons developers page to see if there is any new versions available on the test branch, but it doesn't look like the seasons devs do any more work on the mod. So if it's broken and has conflicts now, it will probably be broken and have conflicts with whatever I choose to play in the future. So I may end up just using growth control for all my future Let's Plays and being able to slow the crop growth down to my liking. The only downside with that is I don't know how well growth control works with maps that add additional crops and multi-fruits and extra fruits and stuff. I don't know if I'm going to run into issues with that. Something for me to test maybe away from camera. But there we go, folks. Our final delivery has been made. I'm not going to do the usual sell everything off process. I'm going to leave the map as it is. I'm going to move my mod folder to my cloud drive so I can free up some hard drive space and start planning for the next adventures, which will be available here on this channel and also on my Twitch channel. Like I say, live streams is probably going to be a big thing going forward, so you may want to be following my Twitch channel and you may want to throw me a subscription over on Twitch, because that really does help me out and benefits me a great deal. As of course is throwing me a like and a subscription here on YouTube and making sure you comment on the videos and you share them with everybody you possibly can. Our adventures here on Lakeland Vale have been a lot of fun for me, and I really hope you've enjoyed this series, people, and I hope you'll continue to watch and support me going forward with what I do next. And yeah, I'm looking forward to more farm sim in the future. So as we've come to the end of this wonderful series, we say goodbye now to Delores, who has been our fantastic farmer throughout this whole process. We bid her goodbye, we bid her farewell. And also, to all of you, it's goodbye for now from me.